So I'm going to introduce the person who is going to be the keynote speaker to us. Our keynote speaker today, ladies and gentlemen, graduated from the University of Ibadan with a PhD in 1990. He returned to Cameroon and was recruited by the University of Yaoundé. He taught at Ecole Normale Bambili from 1990 to 1997 before leaving Cameroon for the United States. In the United States, he taught as an adjunct professor at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, before finally joining the English department at Century College here in Minnesota. He's a poet, a novelist, literary and social critic, and author of so many books. He has distinguished himself as an educator by winning so many outstanding awards, one of the most recent being when the Minnesota State Colleges and University System, MINCAM, honored him with the Board of Trustees Outstanding Educator of the Year Award for 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Dr. Emmanuel Fudo, who is going to be our keynote.
Mr. President, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I thank the organizers for asking me to give you this keynote address on this very special occasion. It is quite an opportunity for me to share in the joys of this unique moment in your lives, one that crowns a long time of hard work. A speech such as this to a Cameroonian population away from home can be challenging for different reasons, least of which is the fact that we all came here with different intentions, even if one can claim that at large it all boils down to wanting to better ourselves. Some of us came here as parents in search of promise for our children, whereas others came on their own as young men and women determined to improve upon their lot in life. By graduating, you have therefore crowned yourselves with a certain degree of success. Congratulations to all of you and your families whose support made a huge impact on this journey. You all ought to be proud of this achievement. Like a rite of passage, graduation brings to an end one phase of life during which you were mentored, while also ushering you, the graduate, into yet another phase during which you are likely to be the one leading and guiding, and this time in a huge world out there, as opposed to the confines of some institution. Of course, by this time in your lives, many of you have put in place firm plans guided by a clear sense of purpose, a clear sense of what you have conceived is coming next. You are also convinced is coming next. Yet some are just thankful they made it this far. The truth is that the times ahead will be exciting, trying, challenging, and even frustrating on occasion. Yet it all depends on you and your disposition at the very least, as I am convinced your education, both at home and in school, has equipped you for this moment. I know from experience what I'm talking about, as a few excerpts from my own life will reveal. Upon graduating over 30 years ago, even before I could go through the graduation ceremony, life had already made it clear to me that things will not always happen the way I wanted them to. As you can tell, 30 years later was quite, or 30 years was quite a while ago, and a few things have changed since then. For example, 30 years ago was a time when our society was just beginning to hear of computers, and one had to walk for miles to catch a glimpse of the only one in the neighborhood. I said to catch a glimpse, not touch it. Today, there is at least one in every home here in the US, and many in every neighborhood back in Cameroon. Phones were in offices and the homes of a few rich people only, not to talk of cell phones. Only the armed forces had a clumsy, heavy, and camouflaged approximation which was rarely seen in public by civilians. Today in Cameroon, most people, even unschooled market women, are brandishing at least 2 cell phones belonging to 2 different companies. 30 years ago, Cameroon was yet to have a television station. Lastly, for an example of our days, the vast majority of young people still look forward to marriage with passion. So I know the times have and are still changing, a thing the young people of today like pointing out to us, their parents, as if it is some sacred knowledge only they have access to. What an unpleasant excuse when they want to do things that contradict the wisdom of age. It is Chinua Achebe who said, "What an old man can see sitting down, a young man cannot see standing up." Or consider him again in another proverb. A young man who tries to wrestle with his father will be blinded by the edge of the old man's loincloth. The wisdom in Africa's values, which your brief alienation from home is causing some of you to forget or toy with. So remember to listen to your parents, your elders, in spite of your being in America and having just earned a degree. Not only does the Bible say that, it is the true value of your authentic African roots which you must not forget. So, upon graduating, I had big dreams. I was a graduate of the University of Ibadan, and I was going to return to and transform Cameroon. I was going to be single for a long time and enjoy life without any kids disturbing my freedom. Looking back today, I can only smile as I shake my head from side to side. My life looks nothing like what I had planned as an exuberant young graduate. At least I did remember to return home and serve my people, even if only for a while. That was as far as all my wonderful plans went. With regards to remaining single and enjoying life, you will not believe that even before I could really go through the graduation ceremony, I fell for a young woman, ensnared from afar by her manner of striding. When finally I met her face to face, I knew, even without having thought of it before, that I had, like you sing today, found my wife. Alas, she wanted nothing to do with me. For a strange reason, I shaved the thick beard I had been wearing as I struggled with research towards my degree, an exercise that left me with no time for my body beyond a refreshing shower. It turned out it was my beard she did not like. It made me look like a maquisard. I was to learn from her later on. Women. 3 months after we met for the first time, we were married. By that move, I stunned the world, to sound a little American like that. Today we are parents of 4 adult children and grandparents to 3 boisterous boys. I am sure and do hope many are still on the way. I am saying all this to make you see how life has a way with our plans. It will not always turn out the way you planned it. I had mapped my life out, yet contrary to every expectation, virtually, see where I am today. The U.S. was never on the horizon as a potential transitional home for me. Never. Again, but for my name, which I still recognize, I will not make myself out today, having been physically and emotionally reshaped by life's travails. Francis Ann Lebowitz must have experienced this powerful force. The passing of time amounts to when she pointed out, in real life, I assure you, there is no such thing as algebra. You cannot, in other words, predict life. You may make your plans, but you cannot guarantee them, she seems to be saying. You will all, graduates, sooner or later, find this out for yourselves. That which is important at this point in life is how you respond to adversity, which is life's way of rescheduling your plans. That is when the manner of person that you are will rise to or fall in the face of challenge. If you have acted with integrity, courage, decency, and with respect towards those in your world, you will remember to muster these values and put them on as your armor in the face of trials, rather than succumb to vile and corrupt means. The friends you have made in life, and some of the best were when you were in school, if they were beneficiaries of your humility and generosity, will, like friends indeed, stand by you all the way. Had you been arrogant, condescending, and insulting because by earning a degree you thought you had done what nobody before you had done, nor will anyone after you, how alone you will be, and for certain doomed, because before the cascading winds of challenge, that must be a part of every life. Yes, I believe you already know this invaluable lesson then, that during your most difficult moments, you will find comfort and assistance from those who love you, your family and friends. They will also be a part of your victories and exploits. Whatever the case, whatever the situation, be patient and put God first. For the patient are virtuous, and those who fear the Lord are approaching wisdom, two of life's invaluable accessories. Let me show you how patience can pay off. Remember the girl whose strides I fell for as a young man? Remember, she wanted nothing to do with me. I was patient even as I applied strategy after strategy to woo her. I sent a reluctant sister to visit her. Then I sent an incredulous sister to her with apples and the story that I was sick. My sisters were reluctant and incredulous because they had seen girls I had dated, and so could not understand why I was taking so much nonsense from this girl whom they were yet to meet. The girl came to visit me, even if only to give my sisters the impression she was not a monster, to hear I was sick and would not come to see how I was doing. When she got to my bachelor's apartment in my father's compound, I was playing my guitar and singing along. It was a song I did not know she liked very much, and so she stood there spellbound, looking at me in disbelief. You know the rest of the story. We have been together for over 30 years today. Patience and persistence, graduates, will pay off in your life. During these decades together, she has, guided by the Holy Bible, treated me as her Lord. Yes, her Lord. But guess what? Like the Bible also requires, I have treated her like myself, and even better. For whereas I can postpone my needs, I cannot go to sleep until I have satisfied hers. So where does she stand? She is the winner. Only a fool will treat poorly a woman who treats him well. It goes the other way around too. Dear friends, contrary to current trends, I will spend a few seconds talking about the family today. Call me old school. Call me whatever. If that's the price I have to pay for happiness and stability in my home, I will rather you call me ancient and not just old school. I say this because looking at the world we live in presently, family life is an endangered vocation, a threatened path to take, it seems. And most of you, or at least some of you, are headed towards that direction. I know you will all find jobs or start businesses of your own, but unless yours is a happy home, your life is likely to go down the drain or remain unconvincingly satisfactory. There is a cliche which says, no man is an island. I know friends who had remained bachelors for as long as I had dreamed of staying myself, so as to enjoy life. In the end, we are all married. It is for this reason that I think it is better for you, if you can, to find someone with whom you will age gracefully together, instead of going about doing whatever until you find ridges on your face as deep as tire tracks along Mount Faircock Road in the rainy season. Then you go looking for a spouse. Remember that I am saying this to those who want to get married but are dragging their feet, and to those who will have the opportunity to, but toy with it. If marriage does not come your way or does not work as you know, it is not your fault, and if you know it is not your fault, then do not lament. accept it. God has a way of compensating us even here on earth. A happy home is your fortress to which you run when trouble is brewing abroad, and from which you re-emerge energized and ready to face the challenges beyond. Let me end by reminding you then, ladies and gentlemen who have graduated, that at work or at play, be of service and of a disposition towards others such that nobody who meets you at work or at play will ever forget you. You will not succeed all the time, but you will most of the time. After all, you are only human. Of course, many will, advertently or otherwise, misunderstand you in a world where so many want you to live your life the way they want you to live it. This notwithstanding, insofar as your conscience is clear that you are open and determined to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, then do not worry about all those who will set out to destroy your integrity by scandalizing your name unfoundedly. It is for reasons such as these that I urge you to make the Lord God central to your life. When this is the case, then you will before long realize that there is nothing the world can bring you that the Lord God will not see you through. Again, congratulations on this occasion of your success, and best wishes for the future. Thank you.